I want to have all the titles. We fought for 5 titles from Up Next last year. We won 3, and defended 3. But I wanted those other 2, so we're gonna, this year, 2025, we're gonna get it. In this game, there's no place for losers, like you have to win. You gotta have the mentality that you wanna be the best at your craft, and that's it, and work for it, When you're an amateur, the more you spar, the more you fight, the better. Put yourself out there because you need experience. The more experience you got before you turn pro, the better. From the first tryouts, we selected, out of 100 people, we selected 9 in 2 states.
That was Diguero and Romero, right?
Diguero and Romero.
Look at those 2 guys.
Yeah, so they're both animals, top of the food chain. When Romero hits the UFC, man, he's gonna knock a lot of people out.
Ilan, thank you for sitting down with us, my brother.
Thank you for the invitation, guys. Really great to be here.
No, it's our pleasure to have you. Super excited to talk to you about this coming Saturday, bro.
Man, I can't wait. Like the camps, they go like that, like it's so much involved that I'm happy that we are here. The guys are ready to go. And then we're excited. We have 6 guys on the card, between Emmys and pros. So team of the year is coming back.
Have you guys ever had 6 guys from Blackhouse on one card before? Or is that the most on one card?
No, I remember one time on another show we put 5 guys. We went 5-0. And I think last time we had 4 guys and we won 3 of the fights. We have 3 of the current Up Next champions, Byron, Anthony, Albert, defending champions, so I'm really happy with the things that we got going on right now.
You guys are making a really good run. Does it put more pressure on you to have 5 athletes on one card? Is that harder for you as a coach?
It's 6 athletes. You got
6.
Yeah, it's 6. Come on.
6
supposed to be 7, but 1 ran.
Yeah, what happened?
Actually, it was supposed to be 8. Supposed to have Byron Valle on the card.
Yeah, 8, exactly. So maybe not blue and red corner, black corner and red corner,
Maybe that's what we have to do. We have to designate a black corner at all of our events.
100%. We need a private corner,
But does that create hardship for you as a coach?
I like it, man. To be honest, I like to have active nights. You keep it on your toes. You have the coaches taking care of each group, so I like to have, I don't like when we have one guy and it's the main event, last fight, and then you're there, man, the entire time sitting, I like to be active. 6 guys, let's see how that's going to work this time.
You're going to be pretty busy.
6-0.
You're going undefeated?
Yeah, 100%.
Ooh.
Clean sweep.
Well, so let's talk about the matchups that are on there. So 2 featured fights on the card, Albert Morales versus Chase Gibson for the 145 title. Anthony the Bully Romero defending his title versus Johnny Robles. A little Blackhouse versus CMMA. I think those guys at the top of the card, and this is probably our best card ever. So what's the energy in the room with those 2 guys? I know they're like brothers as well, Romero and Albert.
Yeah,
what's the energy like?
It's a family, when those guys go. It's an extra emotion, for me. I think for the team, like everybody holds them in such high standards, that the students, everybody loves, like the guys that do the classes at night. They love our fighters as well. They support. They go to the shows, So it's always high stakes. It's never Blackhouse against anybody. It's Blackhouse against everybody.
Get that right, Ryan. It's not Blackhouse versus CMMA.
No.
It's Blackhouse versus everybody.
Yeah,
that
always.
Is true.
That's the mentality.
Yeah, Albert always posts that.
Yeah,
I love that mentality, but we really do have a great storyline with Blackhouse versus CMMA.
Yeah.
2 top guys from both gyms. It's kind of cool, man.
It's cool. It's cool. They can keep coming. No problem.
Elon's like, bring it on.
Bring it on, man. I think that's what makes us great,
Yeah.
I respect a lot the other side as well. I know Chase, he trained at Blackhouse before, like I know how tough he is. I know Johnny Robles. I don't know him personally, but I know he's a great fighter as well, you know. So I respect them. I respect their camp, and but we're going for the win, you know.
Yeah, I think there's a lot at stake on Saturday for you guys, right? I mean, Albert's journey, you know, getting back to the UFC, Anthony's journey. I mean, we keep saying it. We think
they didn't need to be fighting right now, to be honest.
Yeah.
You know, like they're so close, you know, like that they wouldn't be need to be fighting in reality. But I think they wanna. It's fights that we believe we can win. It's gonna be good for our record, you know, and that's why they're taking those chances.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. I mean, I think like Johnny Robles versus Romero, you got two rising stars, really, right? Robles is coming off a great finish at Cage Warriors.
Yeah.
Anthony Romero's been on a tear his whole career, besides, you know, one little hiccup.
Yeah,
These are
he wasn't with us. He didn't.
So he wasn't.
He didn't do the camp with us. You know, like no.
So that one doesn't count.
That
Ryan.
one doesn't
Come on,
count.
Get it straight.
No,
Yeah.
I'm getting knowledge from Ilan right now. That's what's happening.
And Albert against Victor Harry. Also, Albert didn't do the camp with us, you know,
okay.
like, so I don't take those losses. I take all the losses that the guys were there 100%, you know, like we went there, we fought, we put the work, but like the ones that were.
I love your energy, bro. Very competitive.
I feel like I was going to say that. I feel like you're a very competitive guy.
I'm a really competitive guy. The numbers for me are the only things that never lie, you know, women lie, men lie, numbers don't. You know, and
give me the data. Give me the
data. You know, that's why we win 9 out of 10 fights. You know, I take the numbers really personally. You know.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Well, when you really look at Blackhouse and what you've been able to achieve, it's amazing. You've got some of the top pros, and you've got some of the top rising stars from the amateurs actually coming up too. So you've got a really deep stable there.
And right now we just built. I did a tryouts with kids and teens. And like we build up a pro MMA team. Those kids are most homeschooling, and they're training 6 to 8 hours a day. And we're preparing the next generation. You know, like it's not a sprint. You know, it's a marathon. And the next generation, they just fought a couple weekends ago. 3 of our guys, 3 finishes. Nice. You know, so yeah, we're ready on the next step.
I like that.
Yeah.
I really like that. So what are Albert's keys to success for this fight, do you think? What does Albert need to do to get that W?
I think it's going to be Albert can beat this guy in every way, and, you know, standing up 100%. On the ground, it's a tougher fight, you know. Chase Gibson is a big guy. Albert, it's fighting 145er, but he's originally 135er, you know, he's fighting 145, so Anthony can keep the 135 belt as well, you know, like, so they don't have to fight each other. So I think on the ground a little bit rougher fight, standing up, I think we can see a knockout coming.
What do you think, Ron? You think
what do I think of?
Yeah, what do you think of that strategy?
Well, I think it's a great strategy. I think Chase Gibson is more of a grappler and good on the ground, but so is Albert. But I would agree. I think Albert's path to victory is definitely keeping on the feet and just, you know, using those hands.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, I would agree with you guys, 100%. Okay, let's talk about the bully.
Yeah.
What does the bully need to do?
The bully, man, it's one touch and the guy's out, you know. So, man, it's hard to avoid all those punches, you know. He comes with volume, you know. I think if you try to put him down, it's a tough challenge, you know. Like, he's a guy with amazing defensive wrestling, you know. Yeah. So it's hard to put him down, man, and to keep with those hands, man, it's not an easy task.
Yeah, you know? the bully has impressed me in every single one of his fights. I think he's the only fighter that we've had that has gotten bonuses pretty much in every single fight.
Yeah.
It's crazy about the bully. I think he has such good range management. He's actually a really smart fighter. We haven't even seen his wrestling really tested in the UNF cage.
Yeah.
Everyone's game plan is probably to try to get him down, but you haven't even seen a takedown shot.
He lulls you into playing that stand-up, and he wins.
Man. He's explosive, you know, he's elusive, he's left-handed, you know, like it's kind of a puzzle to put it together, you know?
It was really cool. We sat down with him, we did a podcast episode with him, but I really have a newfound respect for him because look, I've always been impressed with him inside the cage and his execution, but his intellect and his fight IQ.
It's crazy.
Wow. I really didn't realize. That was really eye-opening for me.
you can see before he knocks Valoria out, he finds the range and he laughs at him like, I got you, you know, like, and then it's boom,
Boom.
over.
What I loved when he talked about the Valodia fight, how he was like scared, actually. Like,
Man,
that was so
fight
like
was
cool for him to like.
nerve-wracking, man.
Me too.
That-
Like
that?
we made that because Romero's one of the rising stars of the sport right now.
Yeah.
But to fight a world class wrestler, Romero only has 2 or 3 fights as a pro. It was just one of those like, what's gonna happen? Like it was kind of crazy. That's why I asked him. And he said, listen, he was scared for the fight. And that's why after he got the knockout, he jumped on top of the cage, just like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And he's like, I'm talking to myself when I'm doing that. But it's just kind of cool to see where he's come from and what he's accomplished. I think there are big things in store for him.
Yeah, we had tough conversations during the fight camp, like to where we needed to be for that fight, So that was a good one.
How do you motivate your athletes? I mean, does Albert need something different than the bully? Does DeGuerro need something different? I mean, how do you keep your guys really motivated, give them that support that they need?
Man, I try to keep the coaches motivated, like I try to keep Samurai, you don't need to do much to get him going, But I like to come to the gym with a big energy, like put the music on and man, bring everybody. I talk to everybody basically every day and make sure to go to everyone and see how they're doing. And I'm not a coach, but I am on a different area there, And that's why some of the fighters wants me on the corner, because I always try to bring that type of mentality and that type of hype for the fights.
Keeping them sharp and keeping them ready for the fight.
Man, if I am the team captain, I can't be the desperate one, like I got to keep those guys together, Sometimes during the fight camps, the coaches and the athletes, they get into each other, I make sure that I can smooth things out sometimes, and that's the work that I do there, for the fight team mostly,
Yeah, but you guys at Blackhouse do a lot more than just having a fight team. You're running classes. You're deeply involved in the community. What else do you guys have going on?
Man, I say Blackhouse is kind of 5 different business in one, because we have the apparel line, we have the affiliates, we have the fight team, we have the gym itself, and I'm taking the brand to Brazil as well, where we originally came from.
Nice.
And opening a website there with a clothing line for the fans there. Half of our Instagram comes from Brazil because of the legendary fighters from there, So yeah, man, it's a hell of work.
Yeah, I mean, Blackhouse has a prestigious legacy. Can you tell us kind of how you got involved with Blackhouse?
So I got involved. So Blackhouse, the story starts in 2007 in Brazil with some MMA fighters and George Guimarães, one of my partners here at Blackhouse. He's fight manager for a long time, since Anderson, Vitor Belfort, Jose Aldo. He managed all those guys. And Blackhouse was inside of a gym. They had some black fighters and black trainers, strength and conditioning guy. And they would say to George, hey, George, come to Blackhouse. And he liked the name, invested in the name, and created Blackhouse, him and with Ed Suarez, In 2013, I opened the first Blackhouse open to the public, because before Blackhouse was just a private facility, fight team, And then I opened a first gym in Miami Beach when I moved from Brazil in 2013. And then after 3 years, Ed and Jordan saying, man, like we're dealing with too much stuff here.
Yeah.
Jump in, and take care of the team. And I say, okay, let's do it, And then in 2016, I came in and brought sponsorships. We opened some gyms in Mexico, Tahiti, and in Rio, So a lot was done, a lot of champions through this time as well, So one thing about myself, I want to keep the standards from Blackhouse, because it's hard to keep, because In the
Yep,
beginning,
as
you
you
had
grow.
like 4 or 5 UFC champions
Yeah,
at the
Anderson
same time.
Silva, Vitor Belfort, all those
Yeah,
guys.
exactly. So since I came, Tony Ferguson was the champion, interim champion UFC. We had Alex Pereira's first fights in the camps doing with us as well. It was his first stop here in the US, and so we're doing pretty good. A lot of UNF champions on
Yeah,
other
forget
promotions.
the UFC champ.
Yeah.
UNF.
Look at throw that
Champions on some
clout
other
out at the UFC.
promotions
What about
anywhere.
UNF? No.
So it's domination, That's what I want to bring. I want to have all the titles. We fought for 5 titles from Up Next last year. We won 3, and defended 3. But I wanted those other 2, So we're gonna this year, 2025, we're gonna get it.
Well, I think you got several people knocking on the doors. I mean, when you're looking at, Rising Stars, you got, DeGuerro, who's going to be on our card. And I think, if he has a good showing, if he doesn't turn pro, he should get a shot at the title, in my opinion. Right?
Oh, 100%.
DeGuerro, honestly, is all weight classes as far as Rising Stars amateurs, top 5 fighter in the state. All weight class, like pound for pound, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
He's a really good, just slick. And what's good about him too is he has his character. He has he has that personality, which you also need.
Confidence, man.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing. He came to Blackhouse from our first tryouts. Him and Bully, they came from our first tryouts. And one is knocking on the door of the UFC. The other is knocking on the door of being a pro, already a champion in amateur level,
Yep.
So DeGuerro is such a talented, great kid, We have Sevak, really good kid as well. With good potential.
You've got Brendan Farnsworth. I'm big fan of Brendan.
Brandon, he's an amazing kid, man.
Yeah.
Comes always with good energy to the gym, We have Byron probably turning pro this year as well,
Yeah.
So I want to see him defend that title one more time.
Byron's a really interesting guy. You know what I mean? I really like Byron. I like his story. He's very charismatic, really.
He's what I call a real one, Like the way he carries himself, the way he acts, just even his fighting mentality. He's just a real one.
When you're matchmaking him, he doesn't even give you much of a hard time, right? He's just like, bring it. I want the best. I want to fight.
Man, I heard a lot of people saying that he had no chance his last fight. No, man, this guy. And man, I was watching the kid on the gym and saying, man, the other kid must be really good. Like. The kid must be really good because, like, man,
Byron has no chance.
What I'm seeing in the gym here, so he went there and he proved that people were wrong,
Yeah. Well, I think when he was fighting Rod had a lot of hype behind him, right? But I really felt that was a close fight for a minute there. But then I just felt that Byron just wanted it more.
Yes, man. He wants it. He wants it. And then I think he rises on the fights.
Yeah, I see that with him too. Yep.
Yeah, he rises on the fights, So pretty excited with the team right now, man. It's not a big team as far as number of fighters, but we have really good ones.
I want to ask you about that then. So you guys have great fighters. The team isn't, the biggest team right now or isn't available just for anyone. What do you have to, have as a fighter to be a part of the Blackhouse team?
So the way we do it when someone wants to come and train with the team, like I first make a little interview to see where he's coming from, if he has a record, like, the guy, I am a fighter, but he doesn't have a record.
Right.
Man, you're not a fighter, Come to the night classes, let me check you out.
Yeah.
And then we go from there, But if it's a guy already with a record and stuff like that, I bring them in, see what's their energy and stuff. But I had to kick some guys out from the gym, professionals, like.
Not naming names, but like, what would be something that you would have to kick a fighter out for? Like, what's the standard? You know what I mean?
Oh man, if the guy's disrespectful,
100%.
with the people, with the gym, very little common sense.
Yeah.
Then
you see that a lot nowadays, but
yeah, but man, it happens,
no, for
so
sure.
sometimes have to kick people out. If people are not valuing your work, I think you should let them go, So disrespecting and not valuing your work, I think it's time.
I think that's an important thing too. It's because it's like cancer. If you don't cut it out and get it out, it just really gets worse, and it can really change your entire environment.
Exactly. I agree 100%, man. you gotta maintain clean energy, in the spot, where everybody has the same goals, winning the fights. Nobody wants to deal with the guy that loses fights. You have to win the fights. You have to win.
Yeah.
In this game, there's no place for
That's-
losers, like you have to win.
Yeah, I was telling this guy, like, I don't like to lose. I always want to win.
Yeah,
you got to set yourself up
100%.
for success, right?
Yes, 100%, man. You gotta aim the highest places. You gotta have the mentality that you want to be the best at your craft,
Right.
and that's it, and work for it, and work for it.
Yeah, I mean, something about you that I don't think a lot of people know, that you're not just running Blackhouse, right? You're
Yeah.
running another company.
In another country, another time zone.
Yeah, another
yeah.
country, another time zone. I mean, what motivates you to do all the things that you're doing?
And how much sleep do you get on a daily basis?
Man, I like to sleep. So the
Me too.
sleep, I don't give up, like it's 8 hours and that's it,
Yeah.
it's not negotiable. I don't think I can work if I don't sleep.
No, of course, yeah.
So I have a company. It's completely different than MMA. It's women's products, cosmetics, and beauty products. And it's a company that is 46 years old. My dad was the founder of the company. My dad and my mom, and I work in the company since I was a little kid. Since as I remember, I've been on the company. I've been working there, and I love that spot. I love the company. I love the products. I'm highly competitive on the sales as well. So I want to always have the company optimized, have the costs in order. I just came back from Brazil to audit the company there, so I'm really on top of it.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
Can you audit up next and audit Ryan's spending and efficiency over
Man,
here? We
well-
need a little help, bro.
I don't think I'm the one spending for up next, but yeah.
Yeah. I think we always can find better ways, better processes to get our companies more efficient, So that's the mentality that I like to bring to Blackhouse as well.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, because I think you can apply a lot of the normal business
Yes.
best practices to what you're doing in mixed martial arts.
Yes, I think the process of being a business owner before going to Blackhouse was great, and then opening a gym to the public where I was selling products in Brazil, and then
Yeah.
I'm selling services in America. It was kind of another school, where
Yeah.
I learned a lot dealing with people every day, and then owning a fight team where the core business is not selling memberships.
Right.
It's running a whole organism there that is the fight team, that involves a lot of ego, a lot of pressure,
Yeah.
a lot of high stakes. I like those challenges, to be honest. Like I think sometimes I feel like I'm spinning the plates, trying to get everything right.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the challenges, man. I'm a hardworking motherfucker.
Yeah.
I could tell, brother. I could tell.
No, that's one thing I see in you and some of the other folks that, we've been able to sit down and talk with. Like, you've got to have a passion and a drive if you really want to be successful, because this industry and this business is not for the faint of heart.
Yeah, man. I had my biggest role models. My dad, great business guy, and Michael Jordan, because I was playing basketball growing up.
Were you any good at
Come on,
basketball?
bro. Kobe Bryant.
But I was like playing. I was 11 years
Yeah.
old in the 91
Yeah.
Bulls team, so I watched the whole thing. I'm a big fan of Kobe Bryant's mentality and everything, but I
Yeah.
think he is like that because of Michael Jordan.
100%. Yeah.
So I watched a lot of Michael. I watch everything Michael Jordan, to be honest. Big fan, and I think that things that he takes things personally for excellence, to achieve excellence. I like it a lot.
Yeah. Do you have a hard time in today's world? Like, to me, I think that's an old Michael Jordan, the Kobe is like what I sort of consider an old school mentality. It seems like the newer generation, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm just characterizing her, but it just doesn't seem like they're as hard or they're willing to sacrifice as much for success. Am I wrong?
I don't know, man. I see the kids on the team, and they're hard workers. I
Yeah.
see Christian Jiguero, he works the entire day.
But I think he's special. That's what I mean. I just think that the average people. They're just not as hard as back in the day. But again, maybe I'm being judgmental.
I don't know, man. Like I think if you get things too easily, you know, it makes you lose the eager to hunt, you know, to go for it. I don't know, man. To be honest, I'm so focused on my regular stuff that I don't think I'm paying too much
he doesn't
attention
even care.
on the youngs, you know. Like I have my daughters.
Yeah.
I make them work for what they want, you know. Like it's not something that like they have their time on the tablets, you know. They have to earn that. They have to make their beds. They have to do their stuff, keep it clean, you know.
What's more challenging, running Blackhouse or being a dad of 2 daughters?
Man, no, 100% being a dad of 2 daughters. And it's not even close of the hardest part, I think, you know, because they're young. But yes, man, it's hard, you know.
What about you and your wife? Are you guys pretty aligned on how to raise your daughters? You guys totally in sync?
If I'm not aligned with my wife, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
So I gotta be aligned with her, you know. No, we run a good team in home too. Home team is good.
Yeah, there's nothing better than daughters. I always tell this guy, like, you know, nothing better than.
He's like, I love my daughter more than I love you. I always tell you, which is totally fair. You know,
listen,
daddy's little girl, man.
No, I love you guys the same. There's just a different bond between a dad and his daughter. It's just crazy.
Yes, I only have daughters, you know, but I always wanted.
Well, if you want a son, you could take Ryan if you want.
I'm hardworking.
Yeah, there you go, man. I'll take it.
I'll help you with the fight team. I got you.
I'll take it. Like he seems like a good kid, man.
He's all right.
Yeah, he seems like a good kid, hardworking, you know. So
I appreciate
good.
that. Thank you.
Should be proud.
Listen,
in this world today, man, like having a kid like this is great, you know.
Look, we did a little episode and he made me cry. Like, honestly, no, just because I'm so proud of him. You know what I mean? I am very lucky to have him. He works. I don't think people really realize how hard he works, you know, and doing the matchmaking, like how hard that is behind the scenes.
Man, it's so hard. Amateur matchmaking, man, it's crazy world, you know, like because the guys are pulling out of fights, you know, left and right.
Yeah. He's got some stories, you know, people like calling out the champ and then, you know, turning down people with losing records. And, you know, on social media, they'll say one thing, but behind the scenes,
well, that's why I really respect even talking to you today. And I already kind of knew what kind of guy you were, but your competitiveness, how real you are, is why all the Blackhouse guys are pretty easy to matchmake for, right? And the way
there is a different energy coming from Blackhouse, you know, to be honest. Like
different than other fighters, or like different gyms.
Yeah, like, you know, there just 100%. Is this more aggression, sort of like confidence, sort of.
Man, like,
I don't know how to describe it.
We like to keep it super real, you know, at Blackhouse.
Yeah.
So when we're not the average gym, like where you're going to go there, we're not going to teach you guillotines because it might hurt your neck, you know, and stuff like that. We're not that type of like, man, you're going to train hard.
Yeah.
And eventually you're going to get injured sometime, you know, like, because that's like, but I'm not fooling you.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm teaching you the real thing, you know, so.
That's how it should be. Well, we went down and saw some sparring at Blackhouse. Brazilian Samurai was running the practice, but we saw the sparring. Each guy goes 5 rounds in a row and
Shark Tanks and
the sparring.
We're just looking at each other like, whoa, they're not playing.
Yeah. No, those guys are not playing one at all, man.
But I feel like in a normal business setting, you want to prepare for battle and prepare for war. And the best way to do that is to go to war every day, in my opinion. You have to make it as real as possible, because if you take it easy on these guys in practice and you're always patting them on the back, oh, you're just doing so great, you're not doing them justice for when they're getting in that cage.
And like, for my experience, what I see, like when a fighter wants to run his camp and he surrounds himself with a bunch of yes men, man, is the formula to fail. You know, is the formula to fail. If you wanna have positive criticism next to you. You know, you want to have people that are being real with you.
100%.
That when you see that you're slacking, when you're fucking up, you're being lazy, they will call you on your bullshit. You know, that's what you want next to you.
Yeah. I try to do that in my normal business, and then everybody complains about me.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess fighters can take a little bit more, you know. Some people will leave you for you being like that.
Yeah.
but that you're pushing their buttons, people will leave you.
But those are
because
the
of that.
people you want to leave you, right? I mean, if Blackhouse is about being the best, then maybe it's not the place for them.
Yes. I just wish that they see the mentality
Yep.
that we're trying to build into them. Like that it's a win or win situation. They
Yeah.
don't have a second option.
Have you ever had somebody that you felt didn't get it at first and you were able to change their mind and change their mentality?
Look, from the first tryouts, we selected, out of 100 people, we selected 9 in 2 states. All the other 7 left. So the ones that stay, man, are amazing.
Yeah.
Was that was DeGuerro and Romero, right?
DeGuerro Romero.
And look at those two guys. Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they're both animals, like they're top of the food chain, like it's good. When Romero hits it's not if, it's when, when Romero hits the UFC, man, he's going to knock a lot of people out. And then,
He's really
people
one of
know.
those guys you could see. Listen, I mean, once you get to the UFC, that's the top level, right? And fights could go one way or another, but Romero's just one guy you look at and you just really believe that this guy can really do some crazy good things.
He's been saying, we've been watching, I forgot if it was Contender Series or whatever we're freaking watching, and Ryan's like, Bully would beat that guy. Bully would beat that guy.
Yeah,
Bully would beat that
100%.
guy. Like, yeah, we're
No
dying
doubt.
for him to get the call. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So are we. So are we.
Nah, he'll get it
Yeah.
soon.
But yeah, man, I'm excited with the team. Happy to be with this partnership with the Up Next. Where we can find a good home for our guys. And thank you.
Well, no, we're really blessed. I mean, I think I keep going back to the Bully, but I just love how he's been fighting with us, and we just keep building him, promoting him, building him. I mean, it's just, he's like homegrown. So when he gets that call, it's going to be such a moment for everybody.
Job is done.
Yeah, like we're going to throw him a party. We've already decided we're throwing him a party.
100%,
To be honest with you,
100%. We'll
because
do
he
it.
freaking just deserves
I'll bring the
that.
Brazilian barbecue.
Ooh, let's do it. I love Brazilian
Let's do it.
barbecue.
Yeah. I'm good at it, man. I'm good at it.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll do it.
100%.
We'll host.
We'll do it
put it
100%.
on. Bring the bartender. Do you drink?
Not much.
Not much of a drinker.
No. Okay. I drink sometimes a beer or two, but it's gonna be a beer or two like once in 6 months.
Yeah.
Honestly, better that way.
I can't handle my alcohol anymore, man. Because
Yeah.
just that next day, if I drink too much, it's like I just wasted a day. It's just not worth it.
Bloated, man.
Yeah,
Bloated,
just not worth it.
So
if we can go back to your dad a little bit, he seems to be like a huge inspiration
Yes.
in your life. Can you talk about your dad, sort of what he instilled upon you and
man,
how
like
that shaped you as the man you are today?
Well, in a lot of ways, a guy that always been a hardworking guy. When we were kids, like he wasn't much around because he was working a lot, but man, he's still great values, family values, how to save your money, don't spend everything, always save something. You always have, if you save it, you always have it, so when you're doing business, you got to think about multiplying and adding, and not much don't put your weight on the expenses, try to always cut the expenses, being a good businessman, negotiating aggressively, and all that, and being a good dad in the way he could, I only have good memories with him. Though I remember working with him in the company from 2017 to 1997.
There you go.
1997 to 2007.
Yeah.
We worked together like a room away, and great memories, man. I learned a lot.
But be honest, how was it working with him? Did you always get along with them? Did you ever bump heads with them?
No,
or was it
bumping
all
heads all the time, man. Bumping heads all the time because I wanted to push my ideas, and we were bumping heads all the time. So when he passed away in 2008, and then I put some of the ideas that we were always bumping heads, I put to work. Some worked, some didn't, you know. So, and some stuff he was right, some stuff I was right, you know. So it's okay.
Yeah, well, tell this guy he should listen to me while I'm still here. Come on.
Do I not listen to you?
No, I'm just saying.
Sometimes he shuts my
A little
ideas
bit
down,
more,
but maybe
maybe.
I'll start implementing my ideas, see if they work or not.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think it's a balance. You should give him a little bit more room.
for sure.
And you
Listen,
listen to your dad
honestly,
a
he's
little bit.
a great mentor, partner. If I have an idea, it just, you know, it, in a sense, has to have a mini business plan. It has to make sense. And we weigh it out. Doesn't make sense, doesn't not. Okay, why would it make sense? Why wouldn't it? And then we come to
I think I'm like you, and I like to see the data. I like to see the information, right? So an idea is just an idea, but how are you going to execute? Does this make sense in the bigger picture of what you want to accomplish? So things in my life just need to make sense to me.
Yeah, 100%.
So going back a little bit to Blackhouse and Ed Soares. So it's kind of crazy. So I knew Ed in my early 20s. I grew up down in the South Bay. So I've known Ed for years.
Okay.
Did you ever think Ed would sort of accomplish all these amazing things that he's done with Blackhouse, LFA, and all these other things?
Ed's a shark, you know,
Yeah.
like him, and he's a great businessman. He's really savvy. He's a guy that I look up to a lot on this business, you know, because he's a straight up guy as well. You know, he's gonna tell you as it is, man. He's not gonna smooth it out, you know. And I'm grateful for him as well, because he helped me on the time that I needed some help with the visa processes and stuff like that. He helped me a lot, you know, and so we have a good relationship. 100%.
No, he's a really good guy. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And
Do you know George Guimaraes as well, his partner? No? It's a
No.
guy that works with him. Like, they're both managers of the fighters.
My
for a
memory's
long
not
time.
great, but I think probably it was in my early 20s. I knew Ed. We're running around together a little bit in the South Bay and
All
shit
right.
like that. Yeah, but it's just really cool to. I love to see people become successful. So it's just so
Yes.
neat to see the level of success that he's achieved.
Yeah, he has a great show, you know. He has good fighters
Yeah.
that he manages as well, you know. So he's doing
Well, he's really a
amazing.
staple in the MMA community now. Like you
100%.
don't see a show that goes on without one of his fighters and him being a big presence. And I think, and maybe I'm wrong, but I think the whole Brazilian influence too, like he was there at the beginning of all this.
100%, man. He was there from the beginning, and he speaks Portuguese fluent. He did a show in Brazil, and I was there for the show as well. You know, the show looked great. Same standards from here, the US.
Yeah.
Over there, maybe there, because I think the currency, it helps the dollar a little bit. So the show there a little bit, maybe more TVs, more LED panels,
Production
and stuff like
value,
that.
just a
If
little-
you
Yeah.
knew how much it costs to put on a show, it's crazy. Our production costs, just it's crazy. Like I had the commission one time tell me, because we've been blessed. We've been selling out most of all of our events. So thank God, commission like, oh, you guys must be making a ton of money. I'm like, are you fucking crazy? Like this is the toughest business to be in. Like when we first, because he wanted to start up next, right? So I'm like, oh yeah, sounds great. I didn't really do my research the way I should have, because I don't know that we would have done this if I would have done my research.
Yes, I believe it.
Yeah.
I believe it, man. It's always when you get into a business that it's your first time doing it, man, there's a bunch of stuff that you don't even know that you don't know. you
Yeah,
know?
just till
into it.
today, like it's still shit popping up. You're just like, oh, that's added on
Oh,
too.
that's how it handles things, you know? Okay, yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know that I'd want to do anything different, to be honest. It's really like
I see you
fulfilling
guys
and
are really
entertaining.
passionate about it.
Oh,
man.
we fucking love it, man. We take such
Yeah.
pride in our shows and putting them together. It's
That's awesome.
funner than shit.
Congratulations, man. You guys are doing great. And I'm happy to be here to get to know you guys a little bit closer, because on the show you guys are always running with your stuff here, man. All around, you know. We never had a chance to talk like this.
Yeah, but from a business perspective, I think that's one of the things we're doing wrong as far as Up Next goes, because we're so busy building. I think spending time with guys like you and running around and building those interpersonal connections go a long way.
Yeah, maybe not on the day of the show, but like we can schedule something.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Brazilian barbecue. That sounds
100%.
really good to me, bro. We're going to hold you to that.
I'll definitely go to that. That's for sure.
Okay, for sure.
So it took you 17 years to get your black belt in BJJ?
Yes, but let's say that in the beginning I wasn't taking it serious. The white belts too. I got actually the first 6 years I didn't. I was training twice a week at best, just to I started jiu-jitsu for all the wrong reasons. I started jiu-jitsu just to tell people that I was doing jiu-jitsu.
You were a badass
to get the girls.
Exactly, to get the girls.
Okay.
Exactly.
I know how to choke someone out.
So I think it was the reason that many guys started, but they don't say it, But for me, that was it. And watching Rickson Gracie too, So I said, man, this guy my size, kind of same body type at the time, I said, man, I want to learn this, So I started jiu-jitsu, but I didn't take serious for the first 6 years. And then when I came back in 2007, then not one day without training. I train every night with my students. I roll with my students. Man, I like to train every day.
Was there a specific reason you decided to turn it up and start, taking it very seriously, going every day?
Yes. I was not putting effort because I was putting effort in partying at the time, so, but I loved doing it, so when I got my girlfriend that I'm married today, my wife, and I slowed down a little bit, then it was time to go back to jiu-jitsu.
She put you in check. You got your priority.
No, 100%. 100%.
I've had to do that.
Being real. Being real.
A good woman, you found the right one. A good woman can, put you in your place and get you on that right path.
And a lot of women don't want the guys to go to the gym. Mm-hmm. And my wife was pushing me.
She's like, get out, go train.
Go train, she did the right thing.
Now, are you having your girls train? Do your girls train?
I tried.
Yeah, they're not
not into it.
Not into it.
No, not now. Maybe later they'll get the interest. The little one, she's a little bit rougher. So sometimes on the weekends I teach her something, but the oldest one right now,
no. She's like, I don't want. Well, she's 12. Like she's like becoming a teenager.
Yes.
Yeah. What's the age where the girls start giving you the most trouble?
Listen, we were talking before we started the podcast, but I mean, Miriam and I, my daughter and I, were like this until she was about 12 years old. And then I saw that distance sort of get created. She becoming a young lady. Yeah. And then all of a sudden don't want dad around. This and that. I mean, we still had a good relationship.
No, yeah. But as you get older.
But it's kind of heartbreaking. One second you're the apple of their eye. You're the most important thing. And then the next day you're just like, Dad, go over there.
Come on. You're going to make him sad right now. He's not there yet. Give him a second.
But I know it's coming, man. I know it's coming. I'm not ready. I'm getting ready for this.
But my daughter came back, she's in her 30s now. I have 2 granddaughters. She's back. Her and I are just, it's back the way we were. So they come back. They come back.
They live here in California?
No, well, we're very blessed. My daughter and my 2 granddaughters, they actually live with us.
Oh, that's
Bro, if
awesome.
you knew what went on at our house.
Okay.
My mother-in-law lives at our house. Wow. My daughter and my 2 grandkids live at the house. Wow. And my next door neighbor is my sister-in-law. My wife's sister lives in the house next door to us.
It's like the Greek wedding.
Yeah. No, bro.
There's a bridge in the backyard that connects the houses.
We're not even kidding. There's a bridge.
I bet.
And my
nice.
brother-in-law will come over. Oh,
Big
I'm just
family.
getting coffee. I didn't have coffee creamer. He steals our food and shit. It's crazy.
That's good, man. That's great.
Yeah, we're a very tight-knit family.
Family's nice, man.
Yeah,
Family's great.
Never a dull moment in our house, bro.
I bet. That's
it's kind of controlled chaos.
Yeah.
So you now have this love for jiu-jitsu. So I saw something very interesting on Instagram where you have this old dude in New Jersey. I don't even know the guy's name. He does all he does all the weapons and he's trying to be an influencer and he's fucking older than I am.
Big belly. Old,
dude. I just it's kind of
never mess with a guy with a big belly, guys. Be careful. No, seriously.
But it was kind of funny because he was bad mouthing jujitsu or saying, you just roll around the ground. That's not a real art or whatever. And bro, you didn't take kindly to that.
I got triggered, man. The guy was talking shit about jiu-jitsu, so I invited him, for sparring match, I said that I would take a flight, go to his gym,
Uh-huh.
so he could go and then he could try, like he could come with the sticks. He could come with the,
So you were going to let him have the sticks?
yeah.
But no, not only did you just challenge him, didn't you offer him like 50,000 or something?
Yes.
And he didn't
said
take
that
you up.
He didn't
No.
take it, man.
Well-
He said, no, my shoulder. I said, we'll wait for your shoulder to heal. Don't
Yeah.
worry, man. How much time do you need? Like, let's get on a good agreement.
No, you're. Oh,
Let's
sorry.
tell
Go
him to
ahead.
stop being a pussy, and we'll Fight Family Podcast will add $10,000 on top if he comes out and takes
Yeah,
the
we'll
We'll
challenge.
never do it.
We can host it at our next event.
Oh, that'd be great.
But what was so
Wow.
impressive, bro? I was glued to your story for days. This went on for like a week,
Yeah.
right? I was glued every single day. I'm watching your story, watching
because I
the
was
going back and
DMing
forth.
him, he was back and forth with
Yeah.
me, and I was screenshotting
Then you post his
everything,
DMs.
and I would post all the DMs and stuff like that. Yeah, man, like I had time. That was the day that I had some time to play around, because some guy said, "Hey, Ilan, why are you doing this?" And say, "Man, I have it. So the weekend I bored here at home,
I actually want to thank you for doing that because it was super entertaining for me. I was like
Yeah.
glued to that.
Yes, man. But then like after some time when I saw that he was just bad mouthing, that he had no intention to go anywhere with
course.
that.
Internet troll, man.
That's
Then I kind of felt like a little bit coward, like to push him like that,
Yeah.
because but I felt like that after, not when he was bad mouthing jiu-jitsu.
Right.
I should have thought about that a little bit before. But it's good. I give you guys some entertaining.
no, it was totally entertaining. But I think what he did is he just wanted to get some of your clout. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's exactly all. He was just playing it up just to get followers. It seems like that's all this guy's really about. I don't think he'd ever try to mix it up
the
with you.
internet works like that.
Yeah.
If I came here and talk a bunch of shit of other teams,
Yeah.
we would
Oh,
have,
we'd go viral.
Yeah.
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 You want to say anything or?
Come on, come on, Elon. We need our viral moment. Can't you just say something?
Lakers versus Clippers? No, just kidding.
Yeah, I
man.
know.
It's just no, because why do I say the comparison? Because both great teams, but one has the UFC belts to back it up, and that's it.
Yeah.
And 100% they're closer and closer to get their UFC belt, So, but for now, it's Lakers and Clippers.
I kind of like that Lakers versus.
No, I
Clippers.
like it. I mean, they're the two top gyms in Southern California.
100%.
Yeah.
And I do, fucking the UFC belts and all that stuff. And CMMA has been on the rise a while, so
100%.
it's a cool little rivalry, right? It's a respectful thing, but it's a
Yeah.
cool storyline and a
Yes,
cool
yeah.
little
Well,
rivalry.
it's cool because you guys both have so much mutual respect for each other
Yes,
too. It's really about
100%.
building the sport and building the athletes. But
Sell some tickets and that's it. Everybody has fun.
dude, I'm thinking Saturday is just going to be crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, the card is just, and then you got Joseph Rodriguez on the card too.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an uppercut. What's Joseph?
2-0 as a 2-0 as a pro, I believe.
Yeah.
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 Wow.
We got savages, man.
No, you guys
Joseph
really
is
do.
more than ready. We talked very little about him today, but the kid is ready.
You know what?
Yeah.
I just love his personality. He's like the
He's so
funniest,
cool.
like so chill. But I did an interview with him at Compton Day, and he said something along the lines like, and you wouldn't think a guy like this would say this. He's just so chill. He's like, I'm coming to fuck this guy up. The only way I'm losing is to carry me off a stretcher. Because if I don't die, I'm beating this guy's ass. Like I was like, what the heck is going on?
That's it.
Do you know anything about his opponent? His opponent's never fought for us. I don't know anything about his opponent. Do you know
Man,
anything?
I couldn't watch much, find much things on him as well, but I believe in our guys, like no matter what, I believe in our guys. So I think we're going to come 6-0 this Saturday coming up,
Calling undefeated. What do you have to say about
Clean
that?
sweep, undefeated.
Listen, I got to be pretty.
Blackhouse,
I don't want to go
blackout.
viral
I
and
know,
say one or the
You
other.
just always put me on the hot seat, so I just want to do that to you.
listen,
Go ahead.
What do
And
you
that-
guys think?
Yeah.
Come on.
Not
No,
good.
who's going to
What do
win
you
now?
think?
Yeah, let's go.
Shit. So with Albert and Chase, I really feel that's a great competitive fight. I do think Albert has the edge on the feet for sure. That's one thing that I think, right? The Bully and Robles, another freaking great fight. I mean, I think it's really going to come down to who executes their game plan better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, totally.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard. So yeah, I'm not giving any straight answers. I'm not
It's
gonna
hard, man. It's hard to commit
Look,
like that.
I'm-
I'm saying we got 2 finishes.
Well, the
I'm
problem is it's
committed.
MMA, right?
Yeah.
And that this is not to take anything away from anybody, but we just had an event a couple weeks ago, right? And in our main event, Attila versus Granado. Granado was dominating the entire first round, putting it on Attila. Attila just came back and knocked, flatlined Granado. And that fight clip is like got 1.6 million views. It was that great of a fight, but that whole time Granado was dominating, and it just,
you don't really see that getting
one
dropped
shot away.
3 times in one round, and then landing.
Yeah, he dropped Attila 3 times in one round.
Wow.
Yeah, but you're not putting.
Yeah, I
you got to
know.
kill Attila if you're gonna.
Yes, man. Like it happened to me. I went to Saudi Arabia with Marcos Breno. He's one of our fighters. He fought PFL, fought against Rufus Stotts.
Yeah.
First round, 3 flash downs on Rufus Stotts. And then second and third, the fight went slipped away.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what makes MMA the greatest sport in the world,
It
right?
is
And the
the
most
greatest
exciting
sport.
is like, it's all about. It could be about the skills. You could be having your way one moment, one shot. One mental lapse, like anything just changes the course of everything. It's
But
nuts.
this is why this sport is so brutal, right? One mistake can cost you big time. One little mistake. And that's why I like the mentality of like, you got to be a shark. You got to be on your
Well, that's why I
game.
really respect your mentality. Like, what you're putting into Blackhouse and telling these guys is because, this isn't the 82 game basketball season, right?
No,
And
man,
you could recover from a loss because, you always want to win it. You could recover from a loss. It's not like boxing where there's this stigma. You have to go 30-0, whatever.
Yeah.
Always recover from a loss, but every fight is your next biggest fight.
Yes.
It's not
That's
a
the
season,
problem.
right? It's not a season
Yeah.
with 18 games
Yeah.
or 82 games. Every fight matters, so it's kind of crazy, right? Because one decision just changes everything.
And the career is short, man.
Right?
The
Yeah,
career
100%.
is
You only have that
just
span,
like-
that time span to make some money.
Exactly.
You got to execute and do the best you can.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it's the most entertaining sport. But I think what also makes it great is because a lot of these athletes have amazing stories. You're right. It's if you get behind the scenes and you see where they
Such
come from
hard
and what they're
work,
trying.
man.
Look, again, I keep talking about the bully, but I am a very big fan of the bullies. If you talk about his upbringing, what he went through, losing his dad and his journey, that's a motherfucker you want to see make it. I'm rooting for him.
Yeah.
And there's so many guys like that.
Yeah,
You know?
Albert also having his daughters since
Yeah.
babies carrying on the
butt.
on the cage and stuff like that. It's amazing, man.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And like Christian DeGuerro, most guys don't know that before the tryouts would be the next day of his prom. So he didn't go to his prom, so he would be ready for the tryouts.
And that's honestly a lot for a 17, 18-year-old
so those
kid.
are the stories, man.
The
that-
sacrifices.
the sacrifices that you take in life. You're never gonna have another prom.
Yeah.
You have that night.
Yeah, and you look at a lot of these guys too. I mean, you were fortunate to have your dad mentor you all your life. A lot of these guys don't have that second parent, haven't had father figures. That's a common denominator in a lot of these fighters.
Yeah.
So again, seeing them to have that will and that determination to sacrifice for a better future is just really an impressive thing.
It is. It is.
So what's right with MMA today?
What's what?
What's right?
What's,
What do you think's going well in the MMA, in the combat sports world?
Man, I think there are a lot of things going the right way. I think there's more money in the MMA there's ever been. More shows. The fighters, they have more options to where to fight. They don't need to wait that long to fight. Look at Albert and Anthony. They fought like 3-4 times last year. And I think the promoters are doing a good job most of the times. You guys, LFA, you guys are doing amazing job, and,
Thank you.
Yeah. And I don't know, I like to see other organizations like the Karate Combat. They do some good work with the striking part, and I think the guy there is loud, so
He's like a character, you know what I mean?
He was the first student of Blackhouse Miami Beach.
No way.
Yes. I'm friends with him for a long time.
What does he call himself? The Brown Dana or something like that? I saw
Dana
something.
Dana Brown.
Yeah,
No, he's
Dana
smart.
Brown.
He knows what he's doing.
Listen, he knows how to promote. You got to give it to him because he really took that thing and he's really created something. You got to give it to him.
And I remember when he was training at Black Zillions, and the Black Zillions lost their building and stuff like that. They went to train at Blackhouse Miami Beach. He took the guys there, and we have a good relationship now. I put Alex Pereira to talk to Ed Suarez so she could fight there, you know. So
She looks like a beast, man.
yeah, she is a beast.
Is she super talented?
She's
From
talented,
yeah.
man. She has good hands, good striking, you know. She's improving on the ground game. So I think
Are we going to
she's
see
coming.
her jump over to MMA or?
She did MMA. She fought LFA, I don't know, a couple of times.
Oh, did
Won
she?
one
I didn't
and
even know
lost
that.
one.
Okay.
And I think she's getting better, you know, to on the grappling end. And yeah, but she's a beast, man.
Yeah.
She's a beast. She's tall. She's lanky, you know, like she hits hard too, you know. So
You think she takes Ryan? For sure, right?
I don't know. I never seen Ryan. Man. I can't say that.
I'm not talking.
I can take Ryan on basketball for sure.
No,
Come
listen.
on, that's what I was about to ask this guy. There's absolutely no way that
Yeah.
anyone's beating me on
So
basketball.
I think we do Brazilian barbecue and we do.
A one-on-one
One-on-one.
basketball.
Need you to stop tapping the table, sir.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
No, but I'm beating anyone in basketball, honestly. You know,
A lot of Americans thought they could be the old Brazilian guy, man, and they couldn't.
well, next content day I'm getting set up. We got to put some concrete back here or
There
something.
you
We got to
go.
get a basketball court,
There you go.
one-on-ones versus everyone.
I had a basketball hoop at Blackhouse parking lot,
Yeah.
and man, I beat everyone there.
You got those skills, huh?
I had it. Now my knees kind of goes a little bit both ways, you know, but I think I can still hoop.
You know, we
I
got
just need a
something-
couple of days just to shoot around, and I'm good.
Just get back in the
Yeah.
groove of it.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. So what's wrong with MMA? There's a lot of good stuff going on. Where
I-
can
I think having one dominant promotion, it's bad for the game. You
Yeah.
know, I think Bellator and PFL, like, not being the certainty, and the GFL, I don't know what's going on with
Yeah.
them. I have no idea.
Yeah,
you
I'm kind of.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm saying
kinda
paying
pe-
attention, but I don't really know what's.
I'm waiting. I'm waiting on them, you know. But having only the UFC as the main promotion,
Yeah.
I think, man, it funnels a lot, you know. Like, and then you end up with some guys that are really good out of the show. I think the level of the UFC is gonna get harder and harder to get in.
Yeah.
It's gonna get like you're gonna have to be. It's like being an NBA player. You have to be between those 400 players. If you're not the top 400 in the world, you're out. You
Play
know
overseas, G League, whatever it may be, right?
exactly. You know, so you can be a professional basketball player, but not an NBA player. NBA players, they're those 400 guys over there. You know, so I
Yeah.
think the UFC is coming to that place. You know, and I don't know if that's the best.
Yeah.
Because the sport is growing and more fighters are coming.
Yeah.
And they're getting flooded, and then they cannot fight with the like three fights in a year, you know. And
Yeah,
it's hard.
we're a regional show, and we want to be more active because we have fighters that want to fight with us. We can't even keep a lot of other fighters as busy as we'd like to.
Yes,
It's a
and you guys
challenge.
have like kind of two shows. You have Up Next and you have the Rising Stars, you know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's
No,
hard to keep everyone active.
you
Yeah.
know,
What are your thoughts with Bellator going under and
man, I
PFL
don't
not doing
like it,
anything
to
with
be
it.
honest.
Yeah.
Not that, man. To be honest, it's like I wasn't watching Bellator either, you know. So if they went
So they went
under,
down because
like,
of you.
hey, I'm part of it, you know. So, but I think it was good for the fighters to have another option to
Yeah.
negotiate. You know, like I believe guys like the People Brothers, AJ McKee,
Yeah.
and a bunch of other guys that are over there are really good. And I don't know what's their future, you know, over there.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's crazy because a lot of those guys should be in the UFC.
And the
It
UFC is
could-
not gonna take most of them.
Exactly.
You know, so like, are their careers over? Like, you know,
They have
like,
to fight for way less money than they were making before when they were
Yeah.
fighting for Bellator. And that's why you need another big, other big promotions that could give these fighters a good livelihood. Like,
exactly.
we try our best at the regional level, right? I think we pay better than most, if not all, regional shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To really make a living as a fighter, you got to be getting that big paycheck.
No, yeah. I mean, the only
Hey,
way.
Albert's driving a Tesla, man.
Yeah.
You know,
And he deserves that thing.
he deserves
Yeah.
everything, man.
Yeah, I think we're in a weird places up next, right? I think we're doing a lot more production than a lot of our local regional competitors. But to get to that next level, that's a big step. I mean, we're already selling out Commerce, 2,000 plus people, but that next step up to a bigger venue is like 8,000 people. So it's a weird in between ground where we're at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What does Up Next need to be doing better? What could we be doing better as a promotion?
I'm actually excited to hear from him because he's a very good businessman.
Yeah, no. What do you feel like we need to be doing?
I think, man, like I think if you had a different venue so not every time is at the Commerce Casino.
Yep.
I think that would bring something different to the table. I think, man, one thing that really upsets me is on the warm-up area.
Yep.
It's like a thin cloth.
Yep.
Where you can see each one like warming up. I don't like that. I would like to have more privacy there.
Yep.
You know, it would be better to work.
We've definitely talked about that. We're trying to figure that out.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out that the problem is at the venue, it's really up to them. So we've kind of made suggestions to them, but you know,
I get it.
Yeah, you know,
just saying, like you asked me, that's the thing.
No, and I think I totally agree with that. I think for us, you know, I don't think we can't be a fighters first organization, but we've got to be that organization that makes it mutually beneficial for the fighters, right? I heard,
would you guys be willing to do a live show on YouTube? Because I think that would get you guys a lot more. I know you have your streaming platform, but like having a free live show, I think it would put for people to watch a lot more,
It's funny that you say that because we actually are going to stream the first 4 or 5 fights on Saturday, actually on YouTube, and then switch over to the pay-per-view.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Look, we need to sit down and we need to have a consultation with you. So, you can share some of your business ideas and help get us to that next level.
It's a change. It's always a change. It's always a give and take, I like to learn from you guys too, as well. You guys put a great show. So I'd like to learn a few things about putting a show,
Where would you like to see us do a show? I mean, we just did one out here at Woodland Hills. We did at the Marriott, smaller venue, like 1,000 people, but you think we need to be down in the South Bay or
maybe like the StubHub? Like I remember in the beginning, RFA did some shows at the StubHub. It was a nice venue, like where it's kind of
I know what you're talking about.
Like I don't know the logistics, the prices to do that, but I think that's a good venue. I didn't like the Burbank location, that one on the Marriott. I think it's too...
The ballroom.
Yeah. It's. I think the Commerce, it's better for that.
Yeah, I mean, the Commerce is probably the best venue that we've been at so far, I think, just because you got that grand stage. It just looks great on social media, and I think you got a lot of room
it looks great.
For people. Yeah, that's the challenge. Like, I like Burbank and I like Woodland Hills, but it's such a smaller show. So it just doesn't seem as... dramatic, you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah,
and you got to fit all the people that you guys are putting in,
right?
Yeah,
like we cannot do this show at any place smaller than Commerce when that's coming up, right?
100%.
Like, there's no way. But some for maybe the Rising Star shows, the Burbank and the Woodland Hills aren't bad. A lot of the fans actually like the smaller venues just because the intimacy, right? Like you can feel every punch. Yeah. You can hear the coaches in the corner.
Did you go to the Academy LA show that we did at the nightclub that had the LED things on the ceiling? That place was cool. It was like being in Fight Club.
Yeah. It felt like you're in a movie, right? Like in a nightclub. Cool. There's a bar right over there. There's
it's really cool.
A thing in the middle. It was awesome.
It's different. That's really cool, man.
Yeah. I think that's one thing we're trying to do too is, I mean, this year we definitely, I think, want to, go to some new places. Hopefully in the near future, go to a different state, really expand. But just do different things, right? Innovate kind of with what we got going on.
Yeah, because you guys already have like maybe San Diego, look for a venue there in San Diego. Yeah. I don't know. It's... you guys go around, maybe get a different public, because every 2 months, I'm telling, because of like the students that buy tickets, like every 2 months they have to buy tickets because our fighters are going. Sometimes it's hard, but if you get other locations, people would go,
Yeah, draw different people in.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. What else you got, Ryan? What else should we have asked you that we haven't asked you or that you want to talk about?
I think you guys covered.
You're going 6-0 on Saturday.
100% 6-0.
6-0, Ryan. Do you want to try to make any predictions on?
I'll say this: you're really.
What fight are you most looking forward to?
Fight am I most looking forward to?
Yeah.
Let's say Romero versus Robles.
Yeah.
I just feel like the stakes are so. I mean, for a lot of the fights they are, but that fight in particular, the stakes are so high. I think Robles coming off the performance he just had with that knockout, facing the scary knockout artist.
Yeah.
There's just a cool storyline. There's so much hype, and I think either one of those guys should get the call, with the win. So yeah, I think Robles and Romero for sure.
Yeah. I have my 6 guys there. I'm down with them.
He's like, I defeated all 6 of them.
You know,
Those could be a good
all I
fight
care
too.
about.
Maybe not as known as some of the guys on the pro card, but Brendan Farnsworth versus Isaac Enriquez should be a really good fight.
That should be a great fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both
That's a good matchup.
yeah, it's a good matchup for sure.
Yeah, and I want to go back to Brendan a little bit too, because I mean, for him to fight Weston Quiros, last fight that he didn't walk out with the win, but I think
Very winnable fight. He
Right, but
could
I-
have won the fight.
but I think he did walk out with the win. And the reason I'm saying that, when you fight a guy with that much more experience than you and seasoned like that, and Brendan had only had 3 fights at that point.
Mhm.
Come on.
Yeah. It's
I know you
part of
did-
the experience. It's part of the
Yeah.
experience. Still amateur level.
Well,
You're
that's
there
actually
to grow.
what I
you
want to
know?
ask you too, is because there's always this talk, and I mean, I matchmake the amateurs. A lot of guys want to build their records as amateurs, and I totally understand. Don't fight a guy with 5 fights on your debut, but take the tougher fights as an amateur. Get the not even losses, but experiences out the way. Right? Do you agree with that? Like with the amateurs, should they kind of just be being active and fighting whoever?
I think so. I think when you're amateur, the more you spar, the more you fight, the better.
Yeah.
You need to be a competitor. You need to go to jiu-jitsu competitions, Muay Thai, point kickboxing competitions. Go to amateur MMA. Like, put yourself out there because you need experience. The more experience you got before you turn pro, the better.
100%.
Yeah.
And then one other question: how do you feel about cross training? So another problem with my job is I'm trying to matchmake. Everyone wants to fight, and it's like, oh, well, I can't fight that guy because I trained him 3 months ago when I went to this gym one time, or this or that.
I like people training at my gym where I know what the fuck
What's
we're
going
doing,
on,
you
yeah.
know, but for example, Byron, he trains at Uprise and
And-
Blackhouse, and he came already almost ready, like he came to Blackhouse, and then, so I appreciate Uprise's work with the kid, and let him come work with us, you
Yeah.
know. So that's pretty cool. I don't know when people are training outside what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I prefer them training inside. But I
agree.
understand that sometimes there are some guys, they live far away, they need
Yeah.
a gym that they need
could
to
be
train.
beneficial
It
at
could
times.
be beneficial, and sometimes it's good for the team to have that guy there, so you have to balance it out.
Yeah, Ryan's had situations where he's offered guys a fight. Go, yeah, I'll fight that guy, and then the other opponent be like, "No, I won't fight him because I've trained with him before." Like,
And you know who got the better of those training sessions.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
you know
The
who won.
matchmakers know more than anybody else. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. I won't spill it out, the information out, but I do know. I know what goes on. Yeah.
Yeah, never a dull moment around here.
Yeah.
Always something going on.
Awesome.
Well, we wish you luck. Not that you need luck. Do you believe in luck? Should people wish you luck, or what's the appropriate?
like I always wish a good fight,
Good fight. Okay.
not good luck, because luck is like when you're ready for an opportunity, so when you are a hardworking guy and the opportunity pops up, that's the
luck. I get what you're
that's
saying.
the luck,
Yes. I like
that's
that.
what makes luck possible, because the opportunity will come. You're not ready, or you're ready, but the opportunity never comes. So it's like the conjunction of two things,
Got it.
Yeah, that's
I love the way you think, bro. I
Thank
really
you,
do.
man.
No, yeah.
Thank you.
Well, that's your new son over there. So
Yeah,
I'm
let's
gonna
go.
send him
I'll
over
take
to
care
you.
of him.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't worry, bro. He tried to teach me basketball when he was younger. He had a higher
yeah,
private.
yeah.
You could have taught me.
I
This
can-
is-
I can
bro,
teach you
this
some
guy-
things.
No, I'm the worst at basketball.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be honest. There are a
I
few things
love
I know in
basketball.
life. Not too
Yeah.
many. Come on, bro. Why are you gonna do me like that, Ryan?
My dad, man, I love you. It's all good.
Yeah, I really have no game in basketball. Yeah.
I like basketball. I played basketball like growing up. I have the
Yeah.
same size since I was 13 years old.
No way.
Yeah, so I was a big 13-year-old,
Yeah.
but
That's it. You just stopped
That's
at 13.
that's
Yeah.
it. So I learned to play kind of every position, like
Yeah.
looking forward.
We're looking forward. Cannot wait for
All right,
this
well,
weekend.
Good fight.
Thank
We're
you,
gonna
guys.
take you up on that Brazilian barbecue and the
We need to
one-on-one
do it.
between you and Ryan, and I'm betting my money on you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
All
Thank
right.
you.
All right.
That's a good bet.